Hey guys, this is Jillian Kendrick, owner of Informed Marketing Solutions, and I'm a Keap certified partner as well. I get the question all the time about people asking, how do I set up my DKIM record, particularly for GoDaddy? So we're going to walk through that today and give you a comprehensive video on how to get that done. First of all, you want to log into Infusionsoft and into GoDaddy and have both of those open and at the ready. Next, we're going to go to Marketing Settings, and we're going to go here to Email Authentication. There's a different way to set up your DKIM record if you are a Keap app owner versus Infusionsoft. So you might have to check that out as well if this interface doesn't quite look familiar. So next, again, I already have these set up, so we're going to just kind of pretend like we are setting up a new one. And I'm going to click Add Domain. Oh, actually, it might not let me because it might not let me because I don't have any users that aren't associated. Yeah, so that's a good point. I got a question in one of the Facebook groups the other day where somebody was asking, how do I change my DKIM domain? Like, how do I add a new domain? And the answer is your domains get pulled from your user records. So if you have a user of like info@yourdomain.com, that domain is going to be the only one that pops up when you go to set up your DKIM record. Or if somebody has, first name, last name @gmail.com, Gmail is actually going to show up by default as a domain option because the domains get pulled from the user records. So if you don't necessarily have to have a user record that is associated with your domain in terms of like your login, but you do have to have a user record whose email address, not the login, but the email address of that person or that user is associated with one of the domains that you want to set up. And then Infusionsoft will pull that domain into your DKIM options. So this is a domain, we'll just say that we're going to set this one up, right? So here's the domain key, here's the CNAME, and all of that looks good. You can always click on the Help Center for more details as well. And now with this information, and I'm just going to copy this over into like a notepad or something on another screen, just so I have like easy access to it. I'm going to hit copy, paste that in, copy this. And this is actually the same for everybody. It's really only your host or like your CNAME value that changes depending on your app. So we have these, we've gotten this set up, and now we're going to go into GoDaddy and we're going to go to Manage Domains. Oh, it's going to make me sign in all over again. Yep, that's okay. We're going to go to, basically we're going to the domain manager is what we're going to do. So we're going to log in, and here's all the domains that we have access to in my GoDaddy account. And then I'm going to go here to the one in which I'm setting up. So I'm going to click, I think I either click on the domain or I have to highlight it, and I need to go to, I think we go to the manage zone up here or something like that. There we go. That looks good. And here we have all of our CNAMEs. And you can see that the DKIM one is already set up. So if it'll let us add, again, as if we're assuming that this isn't already set up, we're going to go here and click Add. And then we're going to select a type, and the type is going to be CNAME because that's what we're associating with the instructions inside of Infusionsoft. The CNAME record is what we're looking for. So we're going to do CNAME, and then the host is going to be I think the host is the big domain key. Yes. And then points to is going to be the dkim.infusionsoft.com. And you can do it every hour, every day. You can do it however often you need it to authenticate. I'd say every hour, every 12 hours, or every day is probably good. Once a week, maybe a little bit too far off. But that looks good. I don't think that this happens in GoDaddy, but in some other hosting systems like HostGator or others, I've seen it where we put the host in according to the instructions, we put in the points to, and it doesn't work. But if we flip-flop them, again, not in GoDaddy, but in another domain, and this could, or hosting site, and this could be applicable for this as well, is, if you try this and it doesn't work, flip-flop these two, save it again, and then see if it authenticates. So we would go ahead and hit save, and then we would come back to Infusionsoft, and we would hit verify, and most likely, if you're setting up your DKIM record for the very first time, when you hit verify, it's going to say that it's not valid, right? And you're going to stop in your tracks and kind of think, well, hey, I set it up correctly, I followed the instructions, you followed this video that you're watching, what did you do wrong? And the reality is that you didn't do anything wrong. It takes, as we can see in the instructions, sometimes it takes up to 24 to 48 hours for the changes to propagate. So once you set up your validation and you go and you hit that verify button, if it says that it didn't work, give it a day or two, or better yet, set it up on like a Friday and then give it the weekend to try and validate. And if it still doesn't validate after those 2 days, then what you can do is go ahead into your domain manager, flip-flop these two, and then try to verify it again. And then if it still doesn't work after a day or two of verifying, then call Infusionsoft tech support, or you can always reach out to me at informedmarketingsolutions.com, and you can set up a session with me right there on our website. So I hope that helps and that you're able to get your DKIM verification set up and rolling. If there are any questions that you have, please feel free to reach out, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.